Welcome to the Illuvium Arena Ascension Tournament highlight video. I'm gonna just show you all the highlights from our recent tournament, and we're doing tournaments every Saturday at the moment. So check out my Twitter, check out my YouTube, that's where I keep you guys informed. And if you wanna get into the tournament scene, feel free to do so. It's super easy, you just have to sign up and play your games, and it's usually a lot of fun. Enjoy the highlight clip. We're seeing Alexandre going for Spore Air Nature, 6 Rogues, 2 Revenant, so a little bit of a different build than we usually see. It's not the classic Rhamphyre meta, and enemy is also going for 6 Rogues, 2 Revenant, but he's playing Dust. So Chris is going for Dust, Fire and Air, and Alexandre is going for 3 Spore, 3 Air, 3 Nature. Now we have the Augment phase. Alexandre bringing in the Monkey, completing his board with 3 Air, 3 Earth, 3 Spore, 3 Nature. Looks like a really stacked board. And basically the main damage dealer is going to be Gyro, the Hedgehog. Whereas we see Chris already having the Rhamphyre in, so he might upgrade that to be a Rhamphyre very soon. We might see that in the next turn, and the meta has shifted a little bit to 6 Rogues. Going for the Augments, either Water Infusion. Yes, he's picking Water Infusion. Probably gonna put that on the Adorius, right? Here we go. Here comes the Gyro, the main damage dealer. Usually you wanna have the same Augments as for Rhamphyre. His Omega should crit. He didn't find one of those yet. Upgrading the Monkey as well. He has 2 Mystics, 2 Revenant, Empath, Rogues, everything you could need in here. And Chris still only has a Rhamphyre on the board. Still didn't upgrade the Rhamphyre. Playing around the Gyro as well, which seems to be the new main damage dealer. Alright, let's see. Gyro right here on the side wants to roll over. Enemy Gyro rolls first, blinding and reducing the Omega power because of the dust. Hard to see what's going on, who is winning, who is losing. Hey, here comes the big Rhamphyre cast. Seems like Chris got this round. And he didn't even upgrade his Rhamphyre yet. Dodge chance off the Spore with 3 Spore, huge though. We can see as the Ranger and the Vermilia stay alive for a long time, finally able to take them down. And Chris is able to pounce back on his last life. He has not many health points left, so he needs to win every round going forward from here. Who are the other players in the top 8? We got the Brian, Neil, Alexandre, Chris, Witty, Tect, W, Hisapio, and Nefer. Alright, let's watch it. Alexandre is thinking about what to do next. He brought in the Gorilla, which is crazy, so he's activating Mud with the Gorilla and the Monkey, while keeping those 6 Rogues activated on the board. And both of the players didn't get on Omega Crit Augment, which is kind of the core augment for the Gyro, which is super interesting to see. A little bit of reposition, clumping them all up to the side. Let's see who is winning. Big Rhamphyre cast, big Rhamphyre cast, killing all the board. Here comes another cast, 2 casts in a row. And it seems like Chris is able to take down yet another round. And now they're both down to their last life, both around 200 HP, and they're gonna battle it out for the win right here. This got an upgrade to the Malura, some augments for the Gyro, and without the crit augment, Gyro is just not as good as a carry as the Rhamphyre. Alright, last round, who is gonna take it, Alexandre or Chris? Let's see. Alright, we're seeing Chris also repositioning a little bit, bringing in bigger units, upgrading his units. We are now able to ascend our units to upgrade them. Full focus on the Adorius, but he gets untargetable, so he resets that focus. Rhamphyre is still next to him, so that's gonna hit hard. If Rhamphyre goes up into the air, it's gonna be super close. Rhamphyre actually casting, but he's dying in the air, and that's gonna be it. Alexandre takes the match. That's the first round of the best of 3. He needs to win 1 more round to advance into the next round, into the semi-finals. Well played. Let's check in with another match. Let's check out what Hisapio is up to. So we got Hisapio versus Nefer. We got different teams again. 3 air, 3 earth, dust, 5 rogues, 2 revenant. And on the other side going for the spore line with the 4 rogues. Seems like the spore is pulling ahead. Dodge chance with the extra heal, just very strong. Also triggering the first shield on the Revenant just is gonna usually give you the win in the early matches. Alright, here come the 6 rogues, which seems to be the current meta. It's either 6 rogues with spore or 6 rogues with air and dust. Last time we watched this, the spore was able to win it, but it could have gone either way. Here it comes, 6 rogues, 3 air, 3 earth, 2 spore. So going a little bit of a different line right here. Swapping away from dust into the spore. We now have a spore mirror match. But Hisapio already has 3 spore on his side.
Big gyro rogue. Not able to kill a lot of units though.
Seems like Hisapio is pulling ahead. Nefer still got the big gyro here. But since Hisapio already has all his shields activated, I don't think that will be enough. Pulling ahead 3-0 already in this match. Nefer needs to find a tactic, a winning strategy now, otherwise he's gonna be out. Easily can do 350 damage in 1 turn. We're upgrading the Adorius, upgrading the Monkey, activating Mystic. And also upgrading our Ranger. Let's see what Nefer got in store for us. Really fast placement around here from Hisapio. Still 50 seconds left on the clock. Sometimes you can do that ready up very fast to give your opponent the impression that you didn't reposition. But in fact, you did. But Hisapio stays pretty much the same positioning. And since again Gyro doesn't have the on Omega crit augment, he's just gonna not do enough damage to be the main carry here. And we'll see if Hisapio has enough damage on his side as well, because his main carry is kind of the Vermilia right now. And just sustaining with the 3 spore stacks. Here comes the Vermilia damage. And we're able to take down our first unit on Hisapo's side, giving those sweet, sweet shields to everybody. Alright, it looks like Hisapio is just out-sustaining the damage of Neferpitu. There we go, clean 4-0 swipe from Hisapio. Crazy. Well played, well played. Well played indeed. Let's check back with Alexandre. He's already in the second match versus Chris. And it seems like he found his technique. He found his strategy, because 3-0, 3 green bars on top of here. And he needs 1 more win to take it home. Was it just a fluke? Did he just make it interesting for us last game and actually he can easily beat the Rhamphyre line? I'm really interested in everybody playing 6 rogues now, because yesterday when I played ladder, it was still 4 rogues with either a gyro or a Rhamphyre carry. Now this has shifted to 6 rogues. I was assuming it would rather shift into bulwarks than into more rogues. But I guess if you have 6 rogues, you can overwhelm all the bulwarks. Or if the enemy just brings 3 bulwarks, you can overwhelm them really quick. Alright, we're spreading a little bit out on Chris's side, left and right. Alexandre is pretty much centered in the middle. His Monkey and his Adorius are main tanking. Here are the first shields for his units. Clean sweep from Alexandre. This should be 1-1, and now they're gonna play their final match. Let's have a look at the leaderboards right now. Let's have a look at the brackets. Here they are. We have Brian in the semi-finals. Also Hisapio already in the semi-finals. And they're waiting for their opponent. So it's either gonna be Witty or Tech TW or Chris or Alexandre. I think Alexandre and Chris are gonna start their match very soon. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, right? Alexandre, maybe? Is it French? We'll never know. So this is the third game, and the winner will move on to the semifinals. Tech TW versus Vidi. Both really good players. They're both playing Spore, Air, Nature, Earth, 6 Rogues, 3 Empaths, and Revenant. Reselling now. There we go. Now we got the free fire activated with the 6 Rogues. And he's giving up Nature instead of that. So enemy is rocking the Nature. And Witty right here is rocking the Fire. 3 Dust. How did he get 3 Dust? Oh, he has a Dust Emblem. He also has Crit on his Omega on the Gyro. Most important augment in this matchup. First kill goes to Tech though. And he's stacking up the shields. And he's just snowballing from there on. There it goes. Witty is gonna take a lot of damage from this one, down to 290 health on his last life, basically. And this match is for the semifinals. It stands 1-1 right now. Whoever wins this wins the best of 3 and goes on to the semifinals. They're both in the money already, as the top 8 spots are getting paid out. But you have some big pay increases as you move up in the leaderboards. Alright, let's see it. We definitely have the better augment on our Gyro, but those are pretty good as well. Stacking Omega power gives also a lot of damage to the Gyro. You can see it already, doing a good amount of damage. Here comes our Gyro though. Also our Rhamphyre, taking down a lot of units, giving us the shield from the Revenant. But here comes enemy Gyro, doing a lot of damage as well. It seems like we're not gonna be able to get another Rhamphyre cast out. He might die in the air right here. Super close. Couldn't close it out. And there you have it. Tech TW moves on to the next round. Big respect to Witty for doing a rematch after Tech T bugged out in the game. That is very honorable. That's what you want to see. There we have it. There it is, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful. Third game versus Brian. We got Neil versus Brian here in the quarterfinals. Whoever wins this match moves on to the semifinals and is gonna play Alexandre. Holy moly, what we got here? We got Nature, Earth, Water, Verdant, Bulwark, Colossus, Empath, Mystic. Damn. We're playing versus Inferno Spore. Classic team with the 4 rogues. Also, he's Sapio now in the game versus Tech T. Can swap to that game very soon. Maybe it's a little bit less laggy. Let's see. If he has a good new meta deck, Mr. Neil, then we're gonna see him anyway in the semifinals. Otherwise, it's not worth watching. Alright, we are in the match. His Sapio versus Tech TW. I don't know if you pronounce that name like that, but I think it sounds badass. Tech TW. And we are in the semifinals right now. Whoever wins this will move on to the grand finals. And we are playing pretty much a mirror matchup. Let's see if Tech T is also gonna go for the double spore, triple spore in this case even. In the case of his Sapio. The grand reveal right here. Are we gonna have another mirror match? I'm really excited that Neil is actually bringing another deck than the classic Spore, Rhamphyre, Revenant, Dust that we have been seeing for weeks now. Also in the old patch. Alright, here we go. Pretty much a mirror match. 3 Spore, 3 Air, Nature, Earth, 6 Rogues. Yeah, straight up mirror match. We have a little bit of a different augmentation, so we have pure damage. Is it still pure damage, the augment? It got reworked a bit. But we have definitely crit on Omega, which is the best augment that you can find for your Gyro. Or in this case, still Rota. His Sapio here taking is another win. He is now 3-0 in this round. And he needs one more round to close it out and secure his first win in the best of 3 in this semi-finals. Alright, there we go. Neil is in the semifinals versus Alexandra. But let's keep watching Hisapio versus Tech TW, because whoever wins here moves on to the finals with the big prize. It's a tough one. It's a close one for sure. Hard to say what's going on with this camera angle. Alright, clean 4-0 sweep from Hisapio. He's gaming today. He had some really good rounds. Surfer dude. I'm watching Illuvium Arena tournament whilst playing Illuvium 0 and thinking about Illuvium YouTube Shorts ideas. They got you, bro. Alright, we are in the second game. Hisapio versus Tech TW. Let's see how that goes. Hisapio is taking the first round. He's playing the same deck again. 3 Spore. Why change a running system? Never change a running system. That's what they say. 3 Air, 2 Spore, 5 Rogues, 2 Revenant on Tech T's side. And pretty much the same build on Hisapio's side. Who gets the first kill? Who gets the first shield? That's the big question right here. Hisapio gets it and he will snowball to the victory with that. We're gonna do different time slots for different tournaments. Today it's the morning. Next time we're gonna do it 12 hours later in the evening. We're gonna try to accommodate all different time zones over our tournaments and gonna be rotating those time slots. Our first tournament was in the evening, so this one is gonna be in the morning, or is in the morning. Alright, we see Hisapio here going for Warbrave Assault and for Sentinel Resonance Infusion. Tech is going for Empath. And Warbrave Assault is gonna be denied. Everybody is getting the Augment. This buffs your units, gives them all a shield in a medium area, and you can beautifully see here how he positioned his units around the monkey. That's about the range you need to get the shield. Range is getting it too. Beautiful positioning right here. Look at those shields. That's gonna be a huge boost in this matchup. Already starting with this amount of shields is almost gonna guarantee you the first kill, which then will snowball into the next shields. He's sacrificing his monkey here to get the Sentinel Resonance Infusion activated, but he's also giving the enemy shields. So that might not have been the best play. Let's see how it plays out. A little bit of a split. We're focusing Adoredo over here. Seems like Volante is going down. As soon as he does, here come the big shields. And that looks not as good as the last rounds for Hisapio. We might see a little bit of an upset happening right here. Tech may be able to come back. There we go. Tech T taking one match. And we are now both on around 600 health. Pretty balanced, pretty equal match. On to the Augment phase. Going for the Fusion Ignite, interesting. There he comes, onto the Adoredo. Adoredo able to stay alive quite a bit in this matchup since the monkey is getting sacrificed. There we go, now I can draw. Sacrificing the monkey right here to get the Sentinel Resonance Infusion buff. It buffs the furthest unit, the furthest ally. So in this case, the furthest ally is really not that clear to be seen, because usually what you want to do is put one unit over here, and then this Sentinel Resonance Infusion is going to buff that unit. But right now, yes, Rota is still the furthest unit, so it's gonna buff the Rota right here, which is a good target for that Sentinel Resonance Infusion buff. Here comes the first Vermilia cast. Looks like Adorius is gonna go down actually from Hisapio's side. We got the shields on Tech TW's side, and it looks like he's gonna be able to take another victory right here. And he's gonna keep it interesting. Onto the Augment phase, we got the Momentum Shield, the Razor Assimilator, and the Reactive Deflector. Stacking physical attack damage here. We got a shield for your team for 8 seconds here, and then we got Thorns. Going for the shield, buffing even more his units, giving them even more shield. Now we are going into a little bit of repositioning. Usually around turn 5, turn 6, you're gonna have enough mastery points to reposition. So now we're gonna bring over our Mystics to the other side, spreading out our units, actually bringing all of our units to the right side. Alright, doing a little bit of a resell, bringing in the Earth, upgrading the Gorilla. 2 seconds left. Do it! No! He ran out of time. 1 Ascension token left. So far, his Sapio is leading 1-0 in this best-of-3 match. So he needs another win to move on to the grand finals. But it seems like Tech TW is giving him a hard time right here. It looks a little bit better though. The reposition has worked out for his Sapio. Monkey's still alive. Here come the big shields, and actually his Sapio is gonna take a round, which will bring both players down to low health. And actually, it's not over yet. We're still in it. But overtime should bring the win for his Sapio right here. Super close. Alright. That means Tech still has a lot of HP to work with. His Sapio still needs to win 2 rounds to close out this match. We have Granite, Mud, Adaptive Reflection, and Time's Respite. Mud very strong in the matchup. We already have the Monkey upgraded. So that would give us another composite synergy. And then he's sadly running out of time. I keep missing that as well. There should be more visual indicators once the time runs out. And so he's getting Granite, which he doesn't really need. And he's giving away Adaptive Reflection and the Time's Respite. Let's see if that's gonna make a difference. He got the augment that he wanted though. He got Mud. He's gonna upgrade his Monkey now to be a Mud. Also upgrading his Gorilla to be a Mud and bringing in the Mud emblem. So now we have 3 Mud in this matchup, which reduces the energy gain, which reduces the attack speed of whoever they are attacking. So that's really good for him. And we're gonna put it on the Gyro. Gyro, other than that, no augments on the main carry. And that is basically making the difference here. I think as long as he gets the Sentinel Resonance buff, we're still gonna be good. We're gonna bring in Granite just for the fun of it. Sapio needs this. If he wins this round, he moves on to the next one. There we go. Starting out with a lot of shields. Tech did not reposition. So the damage is spread out fairly even across the board. It seems like Tech is getting more kills, so he's stacking up some shields. And we got the triple Mud, right? So I think the triple Mud should win the matchup, because as soon as they attack the right target, this target is basically out of the game and loses all his attack speed. What he's providing though is free kills with his Mud illusions on the Gorilla. It looks like his Sapio is winning. It looks like he made the right decision on the augment phase, going for the Mud, giving away the other augments. And there you go. We're down to our last life on both contestants. Next match or next round wins this match. We got the Technoleecha, Synaptic Booster, and the Abyssal Purge. Abyssal Purge can be well paired with the Sentinel Resonance Infusion, because it both plays around sacrificing 1 unit. Technoleecha, always good. Stealing energy, stealing damage. Goes on to the Vermilion. Interesting that he's not itemizing his Gyro first, but Vermilion, very strong unit as well. Especially since Dust is not that strong anymore, Vermilion kinda sees a revival in its damage. Because usually in the last patch, Vermilion was just down at 0. Omega Power didn't do anything. But now Dust is only temporary. And that's why nobody's playing Dust. And that's why Vermilion finally has full damage casts again. Also Mud in the enemy team, bringing 2 Mud. Leveling out the playing field, evening it out. And he also got the Umber, activating the Slayers. So really interesting board. 6 Rogues, Empaths, Mystics, Revenants, and Slayers activated from the side of Tech. And he seems to be getting some kills. There's some shields popping up for both sides. We see a lot of white bars for both sides. His Sapio getting more and more kills right here, getting more and more shields. It seems like his Sapio is pulling ahead. Also killing the Adorius. It's gonna be a close one though. Tech TW coming back with some kills. And it seems like red is a little bit ahead here. Actually now blue is pulling ahead. It's gonna be a nail biter. Looks like his Sapio was able to finish it out. He's gonna move on to the finals. Congratulations. And let's swap over to the other semi-final match. First game went to Alexander. He was able to beat Neil with the very, very interesting deck. Not a meta deck. He crafted something special for this tournament. And we're gonna see it right here. And whoever wins this match is gonna face up in the finals versus his Sapio. We are in the semi-finals right now. Second game. Alright, classic 4-air opener for Alexander right here. He's gonna look through the enemy team because that's a funky one. That's not what we have seen on the leaderboards. Neil probably crafted this specially for the tournament. He's doing the very classic opener with the 4 rogues, 3 fire that we have seen with the Rhamphyre. So maybe he swapped up his strategy and actually goes for a Rhamphyre carry right here. The Rhamphyre Gyro carry. And that's what I found interesting with the new patch and everything, that we actually, even though we play a lot of mirror matches, they don't feel as mirror matchy anymore. You have so many different lines. You can make the Gyro the main carry, you can go into Mud, you can go into Slayer, you can go into Rhamphyre, Phantom. Like, you have a lot of options. Even though everybody is kind of playing a mirror matchup, you still have a lot more diversity in those matches. Looking sharp. Let's see if Neil is actually gonna go into the Rhamphyre line. Yes, he's playing Rhamphyre Revenant. Stage 2 right now, both the Verminio and the Rhamphyte. Versus the already Spore activated Air and 5 Rogue 2 Revenant of Alexander. Gets the first kill on the Rhamphyte. And he's now stacking up the shield. So Alexander got this round. His Sapio is waiting in the finals for whoever wins this match. Alright, let's see. We got Air, Fire, Inferno, Empath, Rogue, Mystic, Revenant, Classic, Revenant, Inferno deck versus the new meta. It seems like Spore, Air, Nature, Earth, 6 Rogues, Empath, Mystics, Revenants. Who is winning right here? We're killing. We're getting shields on the side of Alexander. Here comes the Rhamphyre cast, going into shields, doing no damage. We don't have any offensive or real good augments on the Rhamphyre. And just not enough damage to get through all those shields. Triple Spore really shining today. And I think what you need to break through is crit on Omega on the Rhamphyre. So you don't have to play Phantom, you can play Revenant. Or if you don't get it, I think he should maybe swap over to Phantom now, just to get the damage to burst through all those Empaths, for all those shields from the Revenant. Or we'll see how he plays it. The advantage with this 6 Rogue build is that you also have the Gorilla, so in the late game you can go into double Mud. You also have the triple Nature, so you're not wasting any... You're really not wasting any synergies. Basically, you're giving up the gaze here and instead getting everything else activated. We have the stacking Omega power on the Gyro, which gives him a good win condition in the late game. Positioning wise, he is deciding to keeping his Mystics together, swapping them from right to left, putting his small rogues onto one side so maybe he can assassinate. And splitting up onto left and right side is usually a good idea in the late game. You want to cover both angles, both corners. Here we go, next round. If Alexander wins this round right here, he's gonna move on to the grand finals. Here they come. All the enemy rogues are on our Mystics, but as you can see, with the Spore, able to survive such a long time. Now the Monkey Stun comes in as well. And not gonna get another heal out on the Adorius, and now everybody's on the Gyro, which is the main carry of this composition. Gyro rolling out again, but just barely dying to the Inferno damage over there. And it seems like Neil is gonna take one round off Alexander. But it's not over yet. The Spore is just too strong. Our Spore Ranger is just marching through the enemy team. Now getting the shield, being able to survive, and that should do 220 damage if both units stay alive. Doesn't look like it though. Nope. Neil still alive with 90 HP. Alexander going for Omnisource and Visionary Vanguard. Neil prioritizing the exact opposite, so both of them got what they wanted. Let's see if they can utilize it, if it's gonna make the difference. Both augments very strong. Stacking Omega Power, really good since we don't have the permanent dust debuff anymore. And also just extra attack damage, extra attack speed on the other augment, very strong. Giving that to the monkey, swapping sides on the monkey, trying to outposition his opponent. And that's what's fun too now. We have so many mastery points. You constantly have to reposition in the late game, which is a good practice, I think. All his important units are already upgraded. We got the Mud, we got the Spore, we got the Gorilla, the Gyro, the Vermilier, the Monkey, and the Adorius, all fully upgraded. And the rest is just the small rogues. Oh, Neil doing a full transition into his other composition. That's interesting. We got Nature Earth, Verdant, Empath, Bulwark, Mystic, Templar. Templar carry, Verdant for the sustain. And it is looking okay. Oh, big heals coming in. All these units staying alive. Verdant is healing so much. But the next Gyro roll could seal it all. The only thing Alexandra needs is one kill. Gyro is trying so hard to get that kill. There it is. There is another one. Stacking up those shields. And he has stacking Omega Power. So the next Gyro roll is going to do a lot of damage. Almost one-shotting the entire backline, but didn't quite do it. And now probably Neil is able to out-sustain the damage and win in the overtime. Big Adorius heal coming in for Alexander though, which might even give him the win. Looks like it. GG's. Alexander moving on to the finals. Neil is gonna play it out for the 3rd or 4th place. Here we go. Game for the 3rd place. Neil versus Tact W. We got the interesting team of Neil right here. I'm really curious if he's gonna be able to pull it off. He had great success until he met Alexander, who was able to take him down. We're playing single elimination match to have a quick tournament. And we have Maladaptive Resonator versus the Spore. It's a really good augment off the bat for Neil right there. And let's see if Tech is actually gonna play around that and not gonna go into triple Spore. Starting with the Rhamphyre opener, redeciding to actually play the air opener. Which is interesting, since we see the Maladaptive Resonator, the clumsy augment, coming in from Neil. Might counter the air already. The dodge chance that air provides will be countered by the augment. Clumsy, if you didn't know, removes the ability to dodge, which makes Spore pretty much useless, which also reduces the value of air a lot. Opener from Neil here with triple Earth, triple Bulwark. So he should usually lose this first round. Air is countering Earth right here. You can see it, the hyperactive bar, that yellow bar is going up. The higher it gets, the more bonuses those units get. And once the hyper buff fills up completely, they're gonna double those bonuses. And gonna be super, super strong. Happening right here with the Vermilier. Vermi right here is an empath, so once its hyperactive is activated, he's gonna get a lot of health regeneration to all the units around it. True Strike Tempo, also giving you, once you have True Strike, you also cannot be dodged anymore, so this also counters the Spore, counters the air, but Neil doesn't seem like he's wanna go for air or Spore. He's going... We got Dust Air versus Nature Verdant. So Neil is playing his special deck that he brought for this tournament. His deck that wanted to rule the Rhamphyres, destroy the dust, bring the Spore down to its knees. And we're gonna see if it's gonna happen in this matchup, in the match for the 3rd place. Neil having a lot of sustain with the triple Nature, the double Verdant. A lot of heal. And he also brought the Templar. Right here, the Fern. Oh, is that a Fern Knight yet? No, I think it's just a Fern. So we only have one Templar activated at the moment. It seems like Verdant is going to be able to out-heal Tech's deck right here. And Neil is going to take the 2nd round. Now they are both equal up in HP. Going for the Phantom Augment. Gonna provide that Phantom trade so he can go for Revenant and Phantom, giving him all those Revenant shields while still maintaining the Phantom damage. So that's going to be very good for him. Let's see how he's going to transition into that. Here comes the Rhamphyre. Definitely going to play that now since we got the Phantom trade. Maybe not yet. Going for the Gyro first. And making the Gyro a Phantom is going to be so good for him. I just hope he's going to have enough time to bring in the Rhamphyre, bring in the Rhamphyre, and activate Phantom for Rhamphyre and the Gyro. And that again is really the beauty of this new patch. You have to adapt. You get new augments, you get different stuff. Suddenly you have a Phantom trade and your whole line is gonna change. Now you have to somehow bring Rhamphyre, even though you wanted to play around this Slayer Dust composition that he's playing right now. Alright, let's see. Gyro gets down out of his first roll. That is huge for Neil right there. Nevertheless, Tech is getting kills, is getting those shields from the Revenant kills. Shields are gone. Here is the next target. Is dropping pretty low. Burden is trying to heal against it. Seems like a close-up. Another kill. Another shield. And now we're going for the Ranger. Ranger is also getting focused pretty good. Is trying to heal against it with the Verdant. Goes down. Revenant shields coming in. Gyro rolling one more time. And as long as Tech can keep killing units, he's gonna keep getting those shields and gonna win the overtime. It's gonna be super close because the Gaze here is putting out those heals, the Verdant is pulling out those heals, and if you have heals in the overtime, that's gonna be very, very good for you. Because you're gonna be able to sustain that overtime damage and win in the overtime, and that's basically what Neil's team is based around. With the Tree Earth, with the Verdant, with the Nature, Templar, Bulwarks, Empaths, everything designed around sustain, trying to survive till the overtime comes and then just out-heal the opponent in the overtime. Here comes the ramp fight. I think he should go for the Rhamphyre, but he decides to go for the Umber instead. So Phantom is... Phantom actually works already on the ramp fight. Ramp fight is a Fire Phantom and activates Inferno on the Rhamphyre. So this is looking very promising for Tech right here. He got some very, very high damage Illuvials on the board. Slayer, Phantom, Rogues, 6 Rogues. Doesn't have the Ranger bonded yet, so I hope he doesn't forget about that. No! Oh, he didn't bond his Ranger. Does he notice? Is he gonna notice? That's rough. Basically losing dust here. I don't know what class would have been. Probably Slayer. Or also Phantom on the Ranger. Gyro rolling in, doing so much damage now with the Phantom. And the ramp fight damage also almost one-shotting everything. But they're able to all heal back up so fast. Right, we have our little marker friend back. So I can highlight stuff. So this is the main problem I feel right here. Tech TW. Is he getting nervous in the match for the third game? He does not see it, I think. He needs to bond his Ranger. He needs to get those extra composite affinities. We're on a 10-minute delay, so he cannot look at the stream. He gotta find out himself. I cannot tell him. I really would like to. There we go. Here comes the bonding. With the Rhamphyre swapping to... Fast, swapping to the Staff, and now we have Revenant activated as well. He's going for the triple Phantom, huge damage. 3 Phantom, 2 Slayer, Empaths, Rogues, everything on the board. He's playing it by ear. He had to change up his tactic because he got the Phantom. He needed to bring in the Rhamphyre, which he didn't do in the past. Really solid setup here from Tech. Let's see if Neil is going to be able to out-sustain all the damage that's going to come in. Triple Phantom, I think Gyro and Rhamphyre is just going to one-shot everything. Alright, hopefully for him, the Gyro is not gonna get stunned out of his role. Again, getting stunned out, very synchronized with the Fernite right here, who is casting so many times. Rhamphyre did a lot of damage, wasn't able to one-shot everybody though. We're missing some offensive augments on the Rhamphyre. Here comes the big roll from Gyro, a little bit too little, too late, and Neil is gonna take the first round in the match for the third place here in the Ascension Tournament. First tournament on the Ascension patch. GG, Mr. Neil. Good luck, Tech, for the next round. We want to see 3 games. We want to see you succeed. I thought Phantom would have more impact, Gyro Phantom, but Gyro got stunned out of his cast. That was a big problem. If Gyro was able to roll in there, he probably would have lined up pretty good with the Rhamphyre and they would have been able to one-shot the entire enemy team. But sadly for him, that didn't happen. We're gonna load into the next game. Neil needs one more win to secure 3rd place, secure better payout, and also more tournament points for the overall global tournament rating. Not the best augments right here. He's going for the stacking attack speed, I believe that was. Checking again on that weird team that Neil brought. And he's thinking, he got different lines to go into. What should I play? Should I play the Spore line, the Dust line, the Mud line, the Rhamphyre line? Like, this is by far not as monotone and stale and mirror matchy as we're used to in other patches. I think we all can agree that this patch went into the right direction. The game is way more fun and a little bit more dynamic. Of course, there's still RNG in there. Of course, there's still mirror matches, and this patch has been rushed, right? So there's not much balancing has been done and stuff like that. Inferno was nerfed a little bit, but it seems in a good place. Like, we haven't seen many Rhamphyre carries or many Inferno or many decks based around Inferno. The most dominant thing that we've seen today in the tournament is triple Spore. And the second most dominant, I think, was Dust. But Rhamphyre a few days ago was the only thing that was being played on the ladder, and right now it's not the core unit of every deck anymore. Alright, next augment phase. Again, not ideal. You want to find that crit on Omega. That is by far the best augment right now, because it fits in so well with the Gyro, with the Rhamphyre, and also even on a Vermilion it's going to be super strong. Going for the Spore here. Tech is staying true to his line that won him the last rounds, that he's had success on before he went up against Neil. But Neil is bringing the crazy decks. So Tech is gonna get a little bit creative here. Alright, who is winning round number 2? Round number 1 went to Tech T. And it seems like round number 2 also going to Tech T. This time Neil doesn't have the clumsy augment, so this time Spore is gonna be more effective against him. Oh, can you see that on screen? No. Alright. Yeah, I kinda scammed our co-host, Excelsior. I told him that we would be starting in like 40 minutes, but now we're already over. Because the tournament went on way faster than I expected. Inferno going to Neil, so that gives him the late game option to go into Inferno. But on the other side, Tech right here got the augments, got the Warp Wave Assault, and that's gonna bring him immediate value right now, and that's what he needs, because you wanna keep the pressure up. He wants to end this in the next 2 turns. Alright, what we got? Gyro carry, Vermilion upgraded as well, both fully augmentized. Augmentizationalized. They're buffed up and ready to rumble. I think Tech is doing a very good job keeping up the pressure. He's not letting Neil breathe here. 3, 2, 1. We're gonna have the big wave come in, giving everybody some mana, stunning the enemy team. Did we miss it or did it never happen? I think it's sometimes bugged. That's a pity. Big stun here from the monkey. And basically, Tech's team has a really good focus. Single target focus, is able to burst down a few units in the beginning. Gyro not doing a lot of damage with his roll. So it seems like Neil might be able to out-sustain him right here. Neil is up 1 game already. So if Neil wins this, he's gonna take 3rd place, and then we're gonna move on to the grand finals. Let's see, can the Verdant Nature out-sustain the Spores in the late game? Spores need 1 more kill for those sweet, sweet shields. Gonna be a close one, but Neil is taking that round, doing a fair amount of damage to Tech. Tech still on 800 HP though. And he definitely has to go for Surge Module. Stacking Omega Power is gonna be so strong. But he has already his units augmentized, so he would have to resell them, lose an Ascension token, and that's why he goes actually for the stacking physical damage right here. I wonder who's that gonna be the carry for? Probably the Gorilla. Now upgrading the Monkey to get Mystic, or maybe the Flood first. There he comes, going for the gaze here. Also repositioning them. As soon as you ascend them, as soon as you upgrade them, you can reposition them to another side. You get a free reposition with that. Also upgrading the monkey now. Goes all the way in the corner. I hope for him it's not gonna get bursted down too fast, and it at least gets out 1 stun. Here comes the Ador. Not really changing much, giving him the nature stack instead of the earth stack. Augment going on to the monkey, doesn't have really good other carries anymore for those augment. And I think, for example, the Omnigenic, this augment right here could have gone on another unit, so you still have 1 slot left on your main carries where you can bring offensive augments like that. What we're gonna see, we have a little split left and right. His main carries are stuck on the tanks right here on the bulwarks. Gyro rolling back and forth, but doing no damage with it. We're missing the offensive augments right here on the Gyro, on the Vermilier. And we're just missing a little bit of that burst damage that we had last round with the Rhamphyre, with the Phantom. And still, Neil was able to out-sustain that. So this time it looks even more one-sided in the favor of Neil. Alright, Tech might be down to his last life. He has 300 HP left. That can easily be done. That can easily be dealt in the next round if Neil wins with a few units left alive on the board. And basically, 1 win condition, by the way, is the Spore augment. But I think people have realized by now, if you get 4 Spore, you just insta-win the game. It's the most interesting tournament from viewer's side. That's nice to hear, Dr. Gamer. Obviously, our production is not like super high quality, right? We still need spectator mode, then we would have nicer quality in-game and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just a quick little fun tournament for the community. It's not really a marketing tournament, it's just because the leaderboard rewards are gone. So I thought, why not have a tournament? Why not have something exciting going on this weekend? And if we can convince more sponsors for the next weekend, we're gonna have another tournament. I would like to do this every week. If we cannot find any sponsors, I might be able to sponsor it myself, at least like $100. I don't know if people are still happy about that. I feel like people just want to play tournaments, right? Like me personally, I don't care too much if I earn or if I place 4th place and I get $5 or I get $10 or I get $20. Like it's more about just winning or getting into the money in a tournament. I don't know. For me, it's just cool to win anything, to be in the money in a tournament. I don't care so much if it's $10 or $20. And I think many of the community have the same feeling, so we're just gonna keep going with small tournaments, small prize pools, just to, you know, get practice in and be ready for the big stage once it happens. Neil taking down Tech T in a 2-0 with his Verdant Templar Sustain deck. Well played. GG. And we're gonna swap over to Isapio for the Grand Finals, everybody. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Isapio versus Alexander in the Grand Finals for the Ascension Tournament. I'm gonna let them know that they're ready to go. They waited for us so we can watch it all. Who do you guys think is gonna win? Is it gonna be Isapio or Alexander? They're playing similar decks. Let's check out the leaderboard. Let's check out how their road to the Grand Finals went. We can see it right here. We got Isapio 2-0 versus Dr. Gamer, 2-0 versus Nefer, 2-0 versus Tech T. So he's had a very clean tournament run so far. Didn't lose a single round. And then on the other side, we have Alexander. 2-0 versus Gypsy, 2-0 versus Chris, 2-0 versus Neil. They are both undefeated. My God. That is as good as a final as you can find. Two undefeated players going up against each other. Let's jump into the game for now. Let's see the finals, the Grand Finals. Isapio versus Alexander. And first round goes to Isapio. We're seeing a little bit difference in the first build. We got 3 air versus 4 air. Isapio brought a Gorilla, but it could bite him in the ass later on because Gorilla uses his Omega. He creates an illusion of himself. And this illusion taunts units and basically 2 hits and it's dead. Problem there is if the enemy is playing Revenant, it's giving you free kills, free shields from the Gorilla illusion. So it's a risky move to play the Gorilla and you have to position him very good to not actually lose value from that. Alright, I have my marker back. I can highlight stuff. So yeah, the Gorilla is creating an illusion. And then this is an easy kill for the Revenants. We will probably see it here as they're playing Revenants. No Spore activated, no Dust activated. So it looks like Isapio is in the lead here. And hopefully he's gonna get a kill here on the Gorilla. Yes, sir. Stacking up those shields. And I say hopefully just because I'm viewing from his perspective, right? I do have no biases. I am happy if either one of them wins. All I want is 3 matches. All I want is a good matchup. Jack Dan provides a lot of damage to your rogues, but usually not as valuable as other traits. Tsunami can be good. Vanguard, probably not gonna be voted for. And then we got Sentinel Resonance Infusion. He's going for Tsunami and Vanguard. Let's see what Alexander is going for. Okay, gets both of them for free. And the other 2 go to Alexander. I love that. They have different priorities and we're gonna see how it works out. How much value they can pull out of these augments and if they made the right decision. Upgrading to Spore Adorito plus bringing in the Empath Earth Monkey. Now we have 2 Nature, 2 Earth stacks ready to activate one of those. On the other side we have already 5 rogues, also bringing in the 5th rogue right here, getting the 3 Earth and also the Nature rogue. And that's the final build, everybody. 3 Spore, Air, Nature, Earth, 6 rogues, Empaths and Revenants. Beautiful. I feel like that's the overall new meta deck. And a little bit sad that Neil didn't make it into the finals with his special deck. The only guy who hasn't been playing a meta deck or who has crafted his own meta deck for the tournament. Which is really nice to see. Not many people can do that. And we get the first kill for Isapio right here, activating the shields. Here comes a kill for Alexander though. And he is getting more and more of them. Now Isapio needs to wait till the shields are gone, till he can kill his next unit. But Alexander is just killing and killing and killing, keeping those shields up, snowballing away. And takes round number 3. And comes back from 2 losses in the first and second round. Vermilia right here, trying his best with the triple Spore, is healing a lot, but as soon as the gyro casted, he's dead. And Alexander focusing a little bit more on damage. We have this damage augment, and also Sentinel Resonance gives a lot of augments, where we can see a lot of unused augments on the side of his Sapio. He's gonna try to change that right now. Siphon Matrix, really good. If your Adorius can stay alive though, that's the other question, because he's gonna be main focused. All the enemy units are gonna jump in here and they're gonna focus his Adorius. So having the monkey inside might be bad news for the Adorius. Going for the triple spore now on the Ranger, or just upgrading the weapon and the armor. Still having Vanguard and Tsunami, so it was probably not the best call to go for those augments, as he couldn't utilize them yet. Maybe it's more something for the late game, but he doesn't seem anywhere near getting the Vanguards. We've seen a lot of cool decks today. We have seen the classic decks, which is this right here. That's the new meta, it feels like. And then we have seen a crazy deck from Neil, going for Verdant Templar Sustain. Able to beat Rhamphyre with that, which was very impressive. Rhamphyre with Revenant plus Phantom activated. Or actually it was 3 Phantom and no Revenant. Alright, Rebel right here just having the perfect augment. Stacking Omega power plus Omegas can crit. That's all you really need, and it's gonna show in a second once he rolls over here. One-shotting almost all the targets he's hitting. And that's really making the big difference. Your main carries need some good offensive traits to do that much of damage. Abyssal Purge, pretty good, but a unit has to die first, which is usually a bad omen anyway. Omnisurge module, reducing the enemy Omega power. Pretty good, but just the Omega power stacking that we have over here is gonna outperform this one. So it seems like his Sapio is having a bad luck day on his augments. Doesn't have really good offensive augments. Has very much defensive augments and also augments that he cannot use yet. So his value on the board is just so far behind in this mirror matchup. He's going into 5 Earth now though, so changing up the matchup a little bit. Everything else stays basically the same. Let's see if Alexander stays on the 3 Earth, 3 Spore instead. Why did we drop? Oh, we got Dust now as well. We got Dust and Spore. That could help with the blind, with the ability power reduction. If you have the right timing, it could save you a lot. Alright, let's see it. His Sapio is on his last life, 240 health left, so he cannot lose this round. It looks pretty bad here. Units are dying. Nice shields from the Adorius. Actually, both Mystics still alive. But here comes the roll from the Gyro, one-shotting half of the enemy team. And that should be it. Alexander takes the win in this first matchup in the finals. Well played. Both very well played. I think Alexander played the augments a little bit better and also got luckier on the augments. Was able to pull ahead here.
Can you hear me alright, Pat?
Yes, Neil. What's up?
Hello, man. What's up? I finished my game on the tiebreaker. Do I have to do something else, or can I leave?
You can leave. Thank you for playing. Well played. Super sick team that you brought, and I'm gonna contact you for your prize and everything.
Oh, thank you very much, Pat. And I hope the team is useful for you guys. And well, thanks for organizing this. You rock.
No worries. I hope we can do it again next Saturday. I hope we find some sponsors. And I think we're just gonna do regular tournaments, but with just smaller prize pools until we have like launch and until we have enough people playing and stuff. Just for the fun, for the practice. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah. The schedule is going to be the same always, or because it's pretty tough for me to wake up this early on Saturdays.
Yeah, we're gonna rotate the time slots. I think next one is gonna be like 12 hours after this one, so flipping it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Because right now it was good for Australia, Asia, bad for USA, and then we're gonna flip it, and yeah, I hope everybody will find times in our tournaments.
Brilliant. Brilliant, Path. Alright, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.
Have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
That was Neil, number 3 in the tournament. He played well, and he brought the spice. He brought the funky team, which I appreciate a lot, because this was kind of my goal for today's tournament. At least have one surprise deck. I was just hoping somebody would craft some crazy deck for today, and Neil did it. Alright, same opener coming in from his Sapio right here. Same opener that we have seen him do before. Alright, I think we're gonna play a best of 5. It makes the most sense for the finals. We're gonna have a bigger sample size and not so much RNG dominated. Devastation Surge, there it is. That's the augment you're looking for. That's the best augment in the game right now. And last game, Alexander had it. This game, his Sapio has it. Let's see what Alexander pulled though. But I'm glad that RNGesus is on his Sapio side. Ooh, there's a spider. You guys like spiders? I used to hate them, and now I don't mind so much anymore. Dude, how fast? Where are you? Alright, it ran away. Alexandra taking the second round, 1-1. Alright, we got the legendary augment phase, which happens 2 times per match. Before round 3 and before round 6. Nobody needs Frost or Nature, so they're going for Arctic Dominion and Inevitable Ruin, reducing physical resistances by 50%. I think that's the right call. Going for Nature here, not bad. Giving up Inevitable Ruin for that. Round number 3, bringing in Devastation Surge. Now his Rota can crit, his ability can crit, which is gonna boost the damage incredibly, because he has a lot of crit chance already. So from now on, usually always his ability will crit. And once we get that to a Revo and to a Gyro, it's gonna do so much damage. 1 Ascension token left over, which is fine. This will carry over to the next round. You can have a maximum of 1 token, carry over to the next round, where you then will receive 2 more, and then you will have 3 Ascension tokens in total. And then you should use at least 2 of them, so you have at least 0 or 1 tokens left. So you don't lose any tokens. Because tokens are the most valuable thing right now in the arena. Usually we run out of them in the late game. Everybody wishes they had more. Looks very good for blue right here. Here come the shields. Blue is leading a lot, but this side didn't get any shields, so it looks like Adorator might even be going down. But because he's dodging so much, the triple Spore is healing. He didn't know Spore, every time you dodge an ability, you heal. And that's why Adorator was just not going down. And that's what all this new meta evolves around, that actually our Mystic with the triple Spore stack is very tanky. So if you want to counter that, you want to get that True Sight augment, you want to get that Clumsy augment, the Maladaptive Resonator. Going for the defensive augment, buffing up his Adorator even more. This guy is never gonna die. We also have the Grit and Resolve augment on him. Becoming an Adorius now, activating the Mystic with the upgraded Stage 2 Monkey. And since we have this Grit and Resolve augment on him, he's gonna buff his allies in this area. So all of those units down here are not getting the Grit and Resolve buff. But I don't think he minds too much. But he could squeeze all those units a little bit closer to Adorius to make that happen. We are here in the grand finals of the Ascension Tournament. Who won the first round? Alexander won the first round with his offensive augments. So he needs to win 2 more rounds to close it out, and his Sapio needs to win 3 more rounds to win. They're playing very similar decks with a little bit of differences, different lines, different progression. For example, his Sapio is playing a Gorilla, where Alexander is playing a Lolura instead of the Volante. Here we can see the Adorius tank. Look at that. As soon as it gets damaged, it heals full again. Same with the enemy Adorius. Actually, Alexander's Adorius was very low, still staying very low. And now the Gyro is getting focused, which is very bad for Alexander. Losing his main damage dealer right there. Sapio still has the Rota, is gonna do a lot of damage, but not enough. So basically Sapio is trying to out-sustain right now, and Alexander is trying to out-damage. It looks like a close one. Blue is pulling ahead though, and Blue will be winning this overtime with the shields. And with just more units alive on the board. Alexander down to 75 life. Down to his last life. He cannot lose another round. Otherwise it will be 1-1 in the finals here. So we got the upgraded Gyro main carry with the Devastation Surge. So damage is good on his Sapio side. We also got the fully augmentized Adorius with good defensive augments. So also his tankiness is pretty good. And then we also got physical reduction here. So even more damage coming in. On the other side, we also got a pretty good itemized Gyro doing a lot of damage. And also some defensive traits. So I would say his Sapio just from the augments is a little bit ahead. But then again, Alexander's Rogue had a way better roll into more units. It seems like his Sapio's Blue's unit just have more focus here on single targets, getting all those kills, getting all those shields. Enemy Gyro didn't do much, and his Sapio has it in the pocket. 1-1 in the grand finals. On to the next match. There we go. Both players need to win 2 games to be the winner of the Ascension Tournament. Not really good augments here for his Sapio. Techno Leecher is very slow but can be powerful. Same opener, don't change a running system. It worked last game, might as well work again. And I think a lot of it is gonna come down to the right augment, the right legendary augment especially. I think both matches so far have been decided in the legendary augment phase. Because both players have been prioritizing different augments, and they really made a difference. In the first game, Alexander was able to get all the good offensive traits, just running over his Sapio. And then in the second round, kind of the opposite happened, where his Sapio had those perfect augments. First round going to his Sapio. Again, not really good augments. A little bit of Omnivamp doesn't help that much. Pure attack damage, probably the best call. It's only 20 pure attack damage though, so it's not huge, but it definitely boosts the damage of Gorilla a lot. Here we come for the Vermi upgrades, going for the Spore on the Ranger, and then we are bringing in the last of our rogues, activating Air, and going for the armor right here. Means in the next round he can sell the armor and have some extra mastery points to work with. But now they're gonna finish it off, and his Sapio takes round number 2, pretty dominating, gonna do a lot of damage to Alexander. It's gonna be down to 600, I believe. Let's see it. Ha! There you go. 600 on the dot. And it seems like 2 more wins, and his Sapio is gonna have this. Now this is where it matters. Legendary augment phase. We got Spatial Disruptor, which gives Clumsy, counters the Spore. And I hope both players go for that. Otherwise, I think this augment is just gonna win the game. Yes, both players securing 3 coins on the Clumsy augment. And both players getting another augment instead. We're going for triple Spore, double Mystic probably, upgrading the Monkey to be also a Mystic. Positioning them together. Adorito is our main tank with the Spore. Downgrading the armor. Boom. Activating Nature and Earth 6. Ah, it's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. Down to 0 mastery points. Getting all those traits full board. All those traits activated. You love to see it. I certainly love to see it. It's a thing of beauty if something is that optimized that you go down to 0 mastery points with a full board on turn 3. Alright, what we got? Who dies first? Seems like blue got the first shield, but half of the team didn't get the shield, so still fairly even. Looks like blue is getting more kills here though. Yeah, his Sapio is dominating this round. Look at that. It's a perfectly optimized board. I don't know why people didn't find that faster. It's so beautiful. Everything activated. Nothing left out. We see a similar play on the enemy team, but Alexander seems like he's going for 3 water, probably with the ebb. There we go, ebb comes in, 3 water, 3 spore, 3 air, 3 nature. Also a lot of things activated. 3 kill on the Adorado though is gonna be bad news for Alexander. Who gets the next kill? Blue is getting those shields, blue is getting the kills. It's gonna snowball this fight away, it seems like. Yes, another kill. And blue, his Sapio takes down red Alexander in game number 2. Game number 3 actually. So it's 2 wins for his Sapio, 1 win for Alexander. His Sapio needs 1 more win after this round to secure the finals, to be the best in this tournament, in the Ascension Tournament, first tournament on the new patch. His Sapio is 1 win away from the grand prize, grand victory, all the fame, all the champagne, all the cocaine and the bitches. Sorry, I had to say it. I'm joking. We're just giving out some tokens and some dollars. That's it. That's all. So Isapia was able to get the True Sight Augment. So his Rota will never be dodged. And this is countering the Spore a little bit. It doesn't give the Spore clumsy, so other units can still be dodged. But Rota's attacks will never be dodged. Isapio taking round 1, as he has been doing throughout this series. And yeah, just bringing in the augment that you get in the first round is gonna help a lot with securing that first win in the first round. Omnigenic Modulator reducing the enemy Omega power is pretty good. But Synaptic Booster also pretty good, giving you heals and attack speed on takedown. Going for the minus Omega power on the Gorilla. Gorilla is gonna be casting a lot, and now we're gonna go for the upgraded Vermilion, giving our range a Spore. No augments yet on the side of Alexander. His Sapio is the favorite player here with 2 good augments already on his units. Ranger is going down here, so first shield is going to Alexander. And he keeps on snowballing, keeps on shielding. And round number 2 going to Alexander, even though he didn't bring augments. Upgrading to Adorado, giving us another Spore stack, bringing in the Monkey, and we're gonna do the classic, his Sapio Circle right here. This positioning is very good for augments that buff your units in a medium area, because all those units are in a medium area to the Gorilla. So that's the reason behind this positioning. Adorado has been doing a good job tanking, and we're splitting up the damage. Some are going on the Adorado, some are going on the Volante. And nobody is dying yet from the side of blue. Looks like Gorilla is gonna go down here. Who's gonna get the first shield? Enemy Adorado is going down. Blue is getting the shields. His Sapio is pulling ahead. And he's 1 step closer to winning the tournament. We got stacking physical damage here. We got Indomitable for 4 seconds, which can be a really, really good augment if you put it on the right unit. It's gonna go onto Vermilion, which usually is not much in trouble anyway. It's the tankiest unit on the board. But if you manage to get everybody attacking Vermilion, that is gonna be huge. Here comes the upgraded weapon and armor for the Ranger. Down to 0 mastery points, full board. Looking beautiful. Here comes a lot of heal. Who gets the first shields? It's gonna be most important. If Adorius goes down here, he probably loses the round. Adorius goes down, also the Ranger. Looks like his Sapio is gonna be able to secure this round as well. If he doesn't lose many more units, he's gonna be actually able to do 480 damage. And it looks like that. Maybe his Sapio is winning the tournament right here. Let's see it. That should be enough damage. That should be 500 damage. Hisapio in the finals with a 3-1, taking the win. Winning the tournament, winning the first Ascension tournament on the new patch. Congratulations, Hisapio. Well played. Thank you for watching, everybody. That was the Illuvium Ascension Tournament highlight video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe if you did right down there. Helps the channel a lot. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.